Hi guys. So my name is Petr Čanda. I am here as a PhD student in this faculty, and also I was here for 10 years already. So this presentation is about if you are a student and you are doing some project of yours, how can be transferred to the reality, how you can make your master thesis or PhD thesis something that really have an impact on the people or on the developing aid. So our project started here in Zambia. Zambia is a former British colony, and we have a very good community there of people that are very skilled, and thanks to other NGOs they are quite trained. So they now operate the nursery, the primary school, and the community center for the adult education. So they are teaching beekeeping, agriculture, and all these things. Also, Kashitu is kind of like a traffic crossroads, so there's a lot of people that are attending. And there was a problem. Around the area, around 40 kilometers, there is no secondary school. So basically, you have all the steps, but you are missing one to make real impact. So the local community decided that they need some project that can be done, and it would be a long story, but basically me and the team of my friends that took this challenge, and we started developing the project. So we are thinking here about what the good developing project should have. So basically, if the first step is you have to know where to build, right? You have to also have some stable partner there, because if you are building something, you need continuance. If you are building a school, or if you are building an orphanage or something like that, if you build the structure and you also get there the people, it's about the operation. So if you are constructing the school, it's okay if you are constructed, but it also needs to operate. So the first important thing is to have a local partner there, because it will help you in a lot of ways, and of course it will ensure that the school or the orphanage will operate properly. Then you need to know something about the locality. So just to be very simple, if you are designing something in some area, you should go there. You should spend some time there, and you should do your research. So basically, the climate is one of a lot of important things. You can adjust very much your design according to the climate, because, for example, in Africa, you have more than 5 different climates that you need to adapt your project. In our case, we have a subtropical climate, but it's specific because it's in a high altitude, so there is not that much of a problem with the temperature, as you can see here. But there is a problem with rainfall, because you have a hot season and you have a cold season, and also you have to count on some events like earthquake or some monsoon rains and so on. So you need to do your research about the climate. And then you need to do your research about the local technologies, because if you are going to some place and you want to introduce something, some building, you need to know how the situation is there, especially in the developing project, because if you need to do some developing, you need to know what is the origin, what is the starting point. So this is the starting point for this locality. So basically, this is a block making machines that is producing the unburned bricks. And if the people want to make the building stronger, they are burning it. The problem is that, as you can see, there is not much of a trees, and this burning process is getting a lot of wood out of those, not even trees, like bushes or something like that, and you are losing this. So deforestation here in Zambia is a very big problem. So we don't want to go this way. So we was thinking how to do it differently, and also you need to know what is the traditional architecture, how the people think. For example, in Zambia, you don't have one house for one family. You have 3 houses for one family in the rural areas, because every house is for something else. This is for living, then you have a house for cooking and for meeting the friends in the rain season, and then you have another house for bathing and toilets. So basically, this is something that you also should know when you are designing the construction for somebody, because in every country and every culture there is something different. So also you need to know what is the available building materials because for example here in Zambia this is now the local standard. So you have the burn bricks, you have the metal sheet on the roof, but this is not that historic structure. You see a lot of these huts over there even now. So basically you have unburned bricks, the reed or some straw on the roof. And but like the context is not changing. So basically this is something that if you are building infrastructure like a school, they are using the cement blocks. But you need to also know those things, because if you are developing something, you need to know what building materials are available there that you can use. So, like I said, this is the block making machine that is available there, and everybody use it. This is something that we came up with. So basically the difference is that if you have the block making machines that are producing these blocks are unburned, and they are not much resistant against the temperature, against the weather, and also against the termites. So these hazards that you have, you also need to be aware of. So what we are coming up with, we just get something that they know very familiar, and then we just say, you know, what if the shape of the blocks would be different? What if we would stabilize it somehow, because we want to make the blocks stronger, but we don't want to burn it. So how can we do that? So we use the stabilization by cement. And as you can see, the holes, they also can be very beneficial. So here you have the testing that we are using the holes for reinforcement and pouring the concrete. You can also put there the electricity or the plumbing that can also help the design of the building. So then you have the testing. So if you are developing some of your idea, you also need to test it. So this is the test from our laboratory. As you can see here, it's the compression test to determine how much weight or how much stress these pillars can take. So just in a minute, you can see here, it's crashing. So we did several tests. If I would have more time, I would discuss it more. You are welcome to attend some of our presentation elsewhere, but just in time's sake, you need to know what the properties of this are. So basically you have the properties of the strength, you have also properties how they resist against the termites, against the weather, against the climate. So this is something that you should do in order to know the good information about your design. Or if somebody does it for you, it's even better, because they had the time or the resources to do it, and you can always invest in some other's idea. So the secondary school, this was my master thesis. Honza here was my supervisor. So basically, when I was in Portugal, I developed this PhD thesis where you can see the whole design of the school. In total, it's 36 buildings only in the learning section, and then another 20 in the boarding section. Basically, what you have in Zambia, if you are constructing the secondary school, you have the laws and you have the obligations against the lot of offices and something else. And if you want to have your school to be approved by the government, you need to follow certain standards. So in Zambia, you have one standard that it quotes you that you have to ensure the accommodation for the teachers in order to have a secondary school. You also have to have a boarding school, because this is a region where the kids will travel from 40 kilometers to this secondary school. The capacity is 250 students, and as you can see here, it's quite large. So if you have this situation, what can you do? Well, you have to start somewhere, right? And also, it's not a good idea. It's not a bad idea to see how the secondary schools are constructed. So we visited a couple of secondary schools. We took pictures. We just ask around. So what is like the good things about the design, and what is disadvantages? What is like something that is bothering you? And you hear a lot about the climate, because the climate is getting hotter. So if you have the metal sheet roof, it's definitely overheating. If you have a rain season, you have the noise from the rain in the classrooms, and if that happens, the students cannot just continue learning. So you have to deal something about that. So the start was this small bugger, yeah, this small building over here, and is the building of the workshop. So just to cut it real short, this is a big project, and who knows who will continue on this and who will finish it and everything. But if you are starting on the green, surface somewhere where nothing has before, and you want to have a secondary school, first you need to also ensure that you have some base camp, something that will provide you with a shelter, with accommodation, and also with building material to store. So what we did first, we constructed the building of the workshop that has the 3 key functions. These block making machines that you saw before, they are developed here in Czech Republic, and they was made here in the engineering company. So we transported there. So the first big function of this building is the storage of these block making machines, where the blocks can be made and also the building materials for them can be stored. Then the local community is quite advanced, so they have the people that can know carpentry, they know welding, so this workshop now is ready for them to accommodate. So they have the tools for the carpentry, and they have tools for metal fabrication, for welding, and also for the bricklaying. And the third one is that you need to start the construction. You need to just test your implementation, test your solution, and the workshop is just a workshop. It's not a classroom. It's not some building that you have for accommodation. So basically, if you, sorry about that, screw this design and system, well, it's not that a big deal, So you need some experimental building, some test building to know if your solution is working or not. So this was our experimental building. And of course, we plan it. Just to let you know, 5 years till master thesis, 3 years of preparation, 2 years of fundraising, yeah, and 1 year of our grant. So basically, that's the time space. And here we go. So yeah, green grass. So foundations dig by the hand with the local volunteers and the construction company. Then you need to fill this foundation with something. So our block making machines didn't come for 2 months. They have the delis for 2 months. So we have to improvise. So from now on, we are just improvising. So the whole construction should be from these blocks, but we decided to change the construction system. So what you will see is the concrete column system or skeletal system that we developed because we needed some solution that can be done no matter if the blocks will be here. So as you can see here, there are the concrete columns that we developed, then the concrete ring. So the construction is independent. And now you can see these Lego blocks are being placed and the walls are getting erected. So finally, we had two of these walls that are really load-bearing, and we can also test the capacity when the block making machines eventually came. So after this construction, you can also you need to put the roof on. So normal timber truss beams will do, but you have the problems with the termites, so you also need to deal with that. So basically, we use the steel columns instead of the timber ones. And after all this work and effort and other things, you have the resolution over here. So basically this is the building of the workshop. A lot of, well, basically whole project was changed, but there is one key thing to remember. If you have perfectly prepared design and prepared project, you can improvise. If you don't have it, you have just chaos. So basically, even though that our project is quite different, still, this is the presentation, or sometimes call it like imagination, and this is the reality. So even though we face some problems, even though we have a lot of things that was done differently, still the function of the building was fulfilled, and we have now the functional building for the local people, for the block making machines, and for the local people to use. So in the end, I would just want to mention that you know, the people are your foundation. You need to have the good people both here who cover your backs and who support you and who you are doing the project with, and also the local people, the local volunteers, the local community that can help you greatly. And if you are doing the developing aid, you need to learn, you need to teach the things to local people, because you want them to be developed. And if you are getting some solution, you need to have somebody to pass the knowledge to. It's also good to have a good team. So this is our team here. If you are interested in this, we are still open for volunteering. So we also have plans for next year. So if you are interested, these are the contact infos that we have. And yeah, that was 4 months of our work that ended 14 days ago, something like that. So I'm glad that I was here just in time. Thank you.